Hi knitters, this is take two. Welcome to PJ Knits. I've been thinking about doing a YouTube video blog for some time now, and a couple of years ago I did a couple of videos and put them on my blog. And just recently I thought I watch a lot of video knitting videos on YouTube, and so I thought maybe I'd give it a whirl, see how it goes, and just have a little fun with it. So anyway, my name is Penny. I'm from Central Illinois, and I'm a knitter. My Ravelry name is Penny J. My Instagram is pjknits, and like I said, I have a blog that's pjknits.blogspot.com that I try and do knitting related blogging about my knitting and about adventures that I have had. So I just got back from 2 days ago from Naples, Florida. Went down with some friends and stayed at a friend's house. And while we were there, we just had the best time. There was 4 of us this jaunt and her husband, but we just had the best time, just hanging out by the pool and shopping a little bit and just laughing the whole time, and just enjoyed it tremendously. So while we were there, we went shopping at a yarn shop that is in Naples, and then I flew down with one friend, and then I drove back with another friend. And on the way back, we hit 4 yarn shops while driving to kind of split the trip up a little bit and give ourselves a rest. And I'll talk about those shops later, maybe in another video, if this one goes well, and show you what I bought. Right now, all of this stuff is packed up and ready to go. Tomorrow morning, I knit on Saturdays in Panera. At Panera's in Peoria, Illinois, with some friends. We're called the Knitwits. And we knit most Saturdays there around the big table. There can be 4 of us, there can be 16 of us, but it's a nice time of knitting and having coffee and catching up with people. And I also meet with the same group on Thursday nights at a local church. And so they're a group that I'm fond of, and part of this group was who I spent the time in Naples with. But anyway, I'll be talking about them as well as more YouTube videos go out. Right now, I just want to talk about, I'll start with the first shop that we went to in Naples. It was a lovely shop. Had a lot of samples knit up, and you could try them on, and just a lot of new yarns, or yarns that I have seen and not been able to feel in person, and some yarns that I'm familiar with as well. But just a great shop to go shopping for yarns and things. And of course, as a knitter, I had to bring some things home. And that shop, like I said, was in Naples. And it was called Castle Creek Fiber Studio. And while there, I found a pattern that I thought would be fun for hospice. This group that I belong to, a lot of them do, we belong to a group that knits hospice prayer shawls and blankets in Peoria. And always looking for some new ideas for those. And while we were there, we found this lovely pattern. And these are knit out of Baby Blossom DK. And we've had some experience with this yarn for hospice, and saw this pattern and just thought it would be really fun. And I'm really liking this one and this corner to corner blanket. And while I was there, I did not buy yarn specific for these, but this morning when I got up and decided, I want to do this one and I want to do that one for hospice, I got online at Castle Creek, and I bought some yarn so I can make one of each, one in the yellow and one in, it's kind of a turquoisey bluey. So that yarn will be coming. But so this one, while we were there, I picked this up for a little baby dress they had knit up, which is also a Baby Blossom DK, and just love the cuteness of this. So this is going to be a new cast on for a future baby. and also the yarn that I ordered for the 2 hospice blankets. Didn't want to go too pink or blue. I didn't want the hospice blanket to look like a baby blanket. And I thought with the turquoisey, not this blue, but the turquoisey and the yellow, maybe that would be a good option. So I picked those up. This one a friend picked up, and I'm just transporting it back to hospice for her. But anyway, while there, my friend happened upon a kit for a blanket that is close to what we call Heavenly Heathers. And I have knit a lot of this particular blanket called Heavenly Heathers for not only hospice, because you can do a lot with different colors, but it's heathered. You can do a lot for teams, you know, if there's the Bears or the Vikings. You can do something for, you know, somebody who might be have a sports team in hospice, and it's cushy. The yarn, if you do it, I've used it, done them out of Cascade Pacific, and it's very, when you get the 2 strands together, it's very cushy and soft and washes well. And it came out of this book, out of 60 Quick Baby Blankets. I just love Cascade. Puts these out periodically, and I always like these because they're great for baby blankets, but they're also good for just wraps or hospice blankets if you do that kind of thing. I really enjoy knitting different blankets and out of colors that aren't baby for hospice. So anyway, while we were there, my friend who's going to have a new granddaughter found a kit and it's a baby gradient kit, and I asked if she would mind if I knit this for her grandbaby because I loved it. The neat thing about this kit is you don't have to hold 2 yarns together. They're already heathered for you, and the one that's missing is an all white one. But I really, really like this, and it is in keeping. It's called Fezza is the yarn, and it's has a little bit of a sheen to it. It is 50 viscose, 50 cotton, so I thought it'd be great. And it's baby, hand dyed, which I really like that. So I'm excited to cast on and be knitting this little baby blanket. It's not as big as a Heavenly Heathers, but it will be great for maybe just for in a carrier or to throw over baby in a car seat as well, just to keep them a little warm after they're in the car. So I'm looking forward to doing that, and that will be fun. I really like that Heavenly Heathers pattern. And like I said, I've used that for a lot of hospice and for babies. It's a quick knit on probably a 10.5, 11 needle, double strand worsted, and it's a quick knit for a baby that you don't know very well. You know, you want a little baby present, but you don't want to spend a lot of time on it, and it goes quick. So I really love that Heavenly Heathers for that reason. And you can do it in blues and girls, pinks for girls, or team colors, or I've done one in camo greens. So if there was, and I've done them on red, white, and blue for hospice. They're great for our military patients that may be military. And so I heartily recommend the Heavenly Heathers. And so when we saw that, I was like, this will be fun. This will be just change it up a little bit. So purchase that at the Castle Creek Fiber Studio. Wonderful shop if you're down that way. Stop in and see them because they have some great yarns, some great things to see. Loved it. And love going there. What am I knitting on right now and what's sitting around my chair? One of the things you need to know about me is when I travel, I like to be prepared. I'm afraid that going to Naples that I wouldn't have enough knitting and there's no yarn shops open. We know that's not the case. But anyway, I had some things shipped down and I took some things with me on the plane, and I really didn't manage to finish any of them. But one of the items that I took down with me is Pavement. This is a pattern by Vera Valimaki, and 3/4 sleeves. And I got this started and passed the sleeve cutoff right before I left, so that I could knit on it in the plane, which I did. And before I went, on all the things that I took down with me, I put a little white stitch marker in there so I could see what kind of progress that I made. And I didn't make a whole lot of progress on this, but this was a great sweater once you split it it's just knit in the round. And so you can go round and around, and you can talk, and we could watch TV. I could fly with it and not have to worry too much about losing my place or keeping the pattern. And so I knitted on it. And this is out of Briar Rose Fiber Arts. Chris in Michigan dyes this yarn. It's Sea Pearl, and I love Chris's yarn. I met her many years ago at Meg Swanson's knitting camp, and I have a lot of her yarn, and I just love this Sea Pearl. I think it has a little sheen to it, and so it'll be great for work. I can wear it to work, and so I'm looking forward to getting that. And the tunic shape's a good one, and 3/4 sleeves are good for me. So that's one of the things that I'm knitting on right now. The next thing I'm working on, and I took to Florida as well, but did not get as much progress on it done. This one is called Friendship Road. This is not the first time I've knit this. I knit it a year ago out of a Caribbean blue, and decided I wanted to knit it one more time out of a little bit darker blue and do a couple of things different when I knit on this one. This is done out of Ultra Pima, and I love this pattern. It has just a little bit of interest to keep you going. And like I said, I have knit that one before, and again, that one is called Friendship Road. Love this pattern. And this particular one is out of Minnesota 52. This particular pattern, love this book. I've had this book for a year. This is by Corey Eichelberger, the Friendship Road piece. And the other items, Megan Williams and Corey did this book a year ago, and it's by Knit Cahoots. And some great, great patterns. I came across Megan through a video blog that she does with Amy, the Stockinette Zombies, and I watched them and heard about the book through there and bought it. So there's some great things in here. I have a lot of items that I want to do out of it, but super sweet gals that wrote the book. Corey was here last summer and did her sweater workshop. I took this workshop, first of all, last year. I took it when my friend Debbie and I went to ZK up in Rochester, put on by Megan Williams and Amy, who are the Stockinette Zombies, the video cast YouTube that I was telling you about. So anyway, Corey did this class, and it's super class, and I'll talk about that down the road as well. But if you get a chance to take her sweaters class, do so, because she brings all of these sweaters that she's knit, and after she talks about each and every one of them and puts them on, tells you what she liked about them, the yarns. When you're all done with these classes, you can try them on and have people take pictures of you. And so I got a lot of great ideas from Corey. But anyway, heartily recommend this book and Corey's class if you have a chance. But anyway, the part that I wanted to talk to you about was ZK 2018, because we have this is a retreat put on Rochester in June, every June, by Megan and Amy. And Debbie and I went last year. I was telling her about it. She was not familiar with them, with the podcast. But I was telling her about this thing. I'd love to go to Rochester. And as Debbie is always in my corner, she said, yeah, hey, I'd like to go. Let's do it. So we signed up and went. And while we were there, met a super fantastic group of women knitters. So much fun and so welcoming to us that we formed some really cool friendships, and just through knitting, and they're all over the United States, and we keep tabs on them through several Ravelry groups and some videos. But the funny thing is, we got up there and Debbie met up with somebody that lives like a half an hour away from us that she knew from knitting. I had never met Annette, and Annette brought us into this group of fabulous knitting ladies, and it just kind of mushroomed from that. And it's just amazing. So we're all looking forward back to ZK this June. Debbie and I are both going, and we'll sit with these same women, and just it's amazing how knitting brings new friendships I'm just always amazed how that craft brings friendships together. And I'll talk about the Knitwit friendships in future episodes as well, but it's amazing. It always amazes me. So anyway, part of the ZK 2018 is a contest that is held through the Ravelry group. And you're divided, if you want to, only if you want to, you're divided up into teams. And then you knit on things, and you have to start them after January 1st. And then you weigh them, and then you post pictures of them. And your team bumps up the grams of to a winning team. And it's just for bragging rights. It's not for anything in particular, but it's really fun to see what others are knitting. So those two items, pavement is one that I will finish and weigh in. And then also Friendship Road will be another one. And I will get 50% bonus on Friendship Road because it is by someone who is in the Designer Showcase, which is Corey. So I'll have extra bonus points on that when I get that one done. But Amy and Megan put on a great retreat. The goodie bag is fantastic, and it just amazes us for what you get. And it's in a great area, Rochester, and I'll talk about that after June, hopefully. But fun time, great friendships that we've met up with through this group. I just can't say enough about the retreat and how much fun it is, and how much fun Debbie and I have along the way. So anyway, that one of the things that I have a penchant for is for project bags, and over the course of some videos I'll show you those. But there's not a project bag that I don't like that I get, and when I find somebody I really like, I like to support them as well. But anyway, I just want to talk about a couple today. This particular one was a gift from my friend Victoria when we were in Florida, and had some great things in it. But look at this. Is this not adorable? This particular bag is from Two Sticks and You, which is not anybody that I have ever seen. So it was a new bag to me, but look, a little handle on it, and super cute fabric. So I always have my projects in some sort of project bag because I have a lot of them. But anyway, that was a great treat, and I just absolutely love that. The other bag I want to talk to you about, a year and a half ago-ish, I was off for about 11 weeks with some foot surgery. And while I was off, I happened on, because I was watching a lot of YouTubes and knitting a little bit, I happened upon a new podcast that came out, videocast from Canada. It was Espace Tricot, and loved it from the get-go. Espace Tricot is a shop that is in Canada, and Melissa and Lisa started doing video casts, which I think all yarn shops should do those, and show what they have. They talked, they're so infectious. You know, they showed things that they were knitting on and yarns and new things that they had, and it just made me want to buy, and I did. And so while I was off a lot, I had a couple of orders that came from Canada, but really some timely, fashionable knits that they're doing, and some super easy and just some great stuff. So anyway, while I was watching their video cast last winter, a year ago, happened upon a bag that they had. And this particular one is from Bookoo, Bookhou, Bookoo. They also have a website that you can buy the bags off as well. She screen paints these and then makes them. But this particular one I bought from Espace Tricot online last year, and this is a really super cool bag. It has like a knit stitch. That's what really drew me to it. I like it because it's nice. It has a box bag on the thing, and the fabric, of course, leather handles. This one went on the plane with me, and I carried it around in Florida, which I really super like. And also then on the inside has two leather straps. So if you want to, you can tie those up okay, and keep it semi-shut. And this is the pattern, or the fabric pattern way, is black knit on natural. And I just thought I have to have that. And it's great for just grabbing. And right now my 2 sweaters are living in this, the pavement sweater and my Friendship Road. The other item then, order after that I bought from them, is a Jezebel B Notion case Petite. And again, I saw this one on their video, on their YouTube video, and I bought it. This one is the linen color, also from Espace Tricot. And the thing I like, and this is the linen colorway, it has Velcro on it. But what I like, and then it's like a denim inside. Denim inside. But I love that it sits flat. You know, when we're at Panera's, it sits flat and has my things, my supplies in it. I can't really see those without dumping them out, but I really, really like this. So again, this was another one from Espace Tricot. I really like those 2 gals. And if you don't watch their YouTube channel, please do, because you will see some great yarns and some great easy but fashionable knits. And they've helped me look at some of my knitting a little bit closer and where I'm going on it. So I really like Espace Tricot, and I recommend watching them. They're infectious. Again, you'll love it. You'll love that one. While we're talking about YouTube, a couple of things that I really do a lot is I watch a lot of YouTube channels, knitting channels. I keep tabs on a lot of people, and I've got a lot of great ideas from them. And over the course of some of these, my videos, hopefully, I'm going to talk about some of my favorites. Espace Tricot is one of them. I always love watching them, as well as Stockinette Zombies that I've talked about, Amy and Megan. I like them too. And it's helpful that I've met them, and I wouldn't say that, I mean, I've seen them at other venues. And so I like those 2 young gals. They do a really great job. And they're fun to watch as well. So I heartily recommend Stockinette Zombies as well. And then one of the gals that I met last year at Rochester is Alicia, and her and Liz, which we will meet this year because she's going to ZK. They also have a podcast, and they're from Washington State. Again, young gals, and I'm going to date myself. Both of them could probably be my daughters, but super fun to be around. Alicia was super fun to be around last year. And she and Liz do one called Loop and Hook. And I love watching the 2 of them. Again, when you know somebody and you've met them, it's always fun to watch them, see what they're doing, and keep up with them. So all 3 of those I'll kind of put in the show notes. I will put the show notes on my blog, www.pjknits.blogspot.com. So that you can go out there and find any of the links to these videos or items that I'm talking about. Pardon me. I always had a problem with people who did that on podcasts. But now I understand why. So, excuse me. I'm going to talk about podcasts as well in some of my next video chats with you. One I like to listen to in the car, and I never listen to the radio anymore. I always download something to my iPhone and listen through my Bluetooth in my car. Is I always listen to knitting podcasts. And the thing that is so cool about knitting podcasts now is a lot of them are doing show notes, so you don't have to try and drive down the road and write things that they're telling you about. You can go back to their show notes, which I really appreciate podcasters who do that for those of us who are constantly listening to them on the radio. I commute maybe a half hour tops each way, but it is so much fun to have something cool to listen to. So that's what I do. One of the ones that I've been listening to, I used to follow her videocast, but she's converted over to podcast, is In a Knit, which is Christy. And the thing Christy, again, she's from Central Illinois. She's in Illinois somewhere, okay? And I see her occasionally on events. Never have met her personally, but I do follow her on Instagram and on Ravelry, and she has a group as well. So one of the things that she's doing, as well as the Lupin group on Ravelry, is we're doing goals for 2018, and so I'm posting on both of those groups. My sweater goals is to get 2 sweaters done per season or per quarter. That's just one of the goals that I'm posting to both groups. So, and Christy and Instead is doing goals as well. The thing I like about Christy as well is she's a Cardinal fan, as I am, and so she has a little ticker thing on her Ravelry group of how many days before opening day, how many days before the starting pitchers had started. So I enjoy listening to her as well now when I'm in the car. And that's just one of many, and that I will talk about in the hopefully future videos to come on YouTube. Well, I think that's about all that I have for today. It's almost at a half an hour. I wanted to mention, this is my shawl. This was part of the Lupin group that we did what we called Knitmas, that Alicia and Liz did. And we were divided up into to partners. We were assigned partners. We did not know who that person was until the gift arrived. And the part of Knitmas is to knit for others. After Christmas, there was a deadline to be out by February. And as it turns out, my partner was Kim, Arts Lover on Ravelry, and she had me, which was so super cool. And this is the shawl that she knit for me. And don't you love, Ken? Don't you love the little pom-pom? And I'll show you next time some mitts that she knit that are beaded. Oh my goodness. I was overwhelmed by the generosity of Kim. And she hit it like right on for me. Right on. And I'm going to be wearing this tomorrow when I go to knitting. But is this just not the coolest? It is soft and scrumptious. It has the most adorable pom-pom on it. It's just gorgeous. And it's my colorways, and it matches my purse. And probably half my jewelry and tops and all that. But anyway, isn't that lovely? So it was, again, that friendship brought on by a retreat, and it just keeps giving. And what fun this was. And I think I'll do it again next year, Knitmas. So, yeah. Anyway, that's all I've got for you today. I hope you come back. And until then, knit on with confidence and hope.